Kenny, happy holidays upcoming. Good to see you. You got a festive jacket on today.
Very festive, Jasper. Last game or last show of the regular season.
Getting the mood set for the holidays.
Yeah, I had to get it ready. Christmas time, holidays. But Coach, interesting year. We had you on first beginning of the season, first show and the third show. One of the things you talked about was important to you was getting better every week. For me, being one of your former players, one of your former coaches, I felt like you guys definitely did that. We had some hurdles in the middle of the season dealing with the quarterback situation. But what can you do about that, right?
No, the one thing you can't control are injuries, and that's just a part of the game. And whether you like it or not, it just, you got to move on from it all. And I think, you look back at how our season went, and, I hate to focus in on the games that were most important to us because we felt like, we had some tough teams that we had to go through in order to try and win a conference championship. And so you start off, after when we start our league play, and we gave ourselves a great opportunity the first half of the Ventura game, and unfortunately we squandered two huge possessions inside the 10-yard line and came away with no points.
Yes.
And didn't muster up anything after that, and couldn't get any momentum and energy going, and couldn't do a whole lot offensively after that. And then we bounced back against the Long Beach team that was they were had been a thorn in our side the last couple of years, and
Definitely
they did a
had
good job. They're good players and well coached, and I thought our guys did a really nice job of responding back. That was an opportunity to go down and travel and have a lot of excuses why you wouldn't play well, but we did what we had to do to get it done and got on a roll. And going into the last game on Saturday, obviously we pushed those guys. I wouldn't say we pushed them around, but we gave them a lot of pushback early on that first half. They were definitely on their heels, and we have a 10-point lead at halftime. And we ended up that third quarter, we didn't capitalize on turnover. We had been really opportunistic the first half.
Yes, we were.
And, I thought we did a really good job of mixing things up. We were able to run the ball with Elijah. He did he was getting after it and did some really good things. Keeping them on their heels, and we were able to throw the ball a little bit, whether it was through, some gimmick stuff and some other things, play action and that kind of stuff, because we were able to run the ball. And then in the second half, the third quarter especially, we didn't, we had a turnover on their 45, and we had lost the momentum, and it was a great opportunity for us to get the momentum back and kind of give a pushback back. We gave it right back to them, and then again they had two personal fouls, and they were kicking off from the 10. And we get the ball, should have got the ball about the 35, and I think we ended up getting about the 50, and didn't do anything there. And we just, weren't able to do anything offensively that second half, and struggled throwing the ball. And then I think, from a momentum standpoint, it's hard. When you lose momentum in this game, it's really hard to get it back. And when you're playing against a good football team, you got to make plays, you got to execute. And uncharacteristically, and you got to give them credit too. They had some big plays against us, which one was a kind of a 50-50 ball, and the other one was just we played the ball extremely bad. It was a bad play.
Yeah, that fade in the corner.
Should have been an easy play for us to make. It should have been, honestly,
the interception.
should have been a pick. The coverage that we were playing, we were bailing out, we were playing over the top. But it is what it is. You got to give them credit. They've figured out a way to kind of go through the season where they're at right now. And for our guys, we responded well. We just didn't have we didn't execute at the times we needed to in that second half. And so you look back, and our guys have done a good job of hanging together as a group. Our sophomore class is a really good class. They're good character guys. Now we're looking for those guys to move on, and our job as coaches is to help those guys get recruited. Obviously, in the recruitment process, it's really two things. It's with the exposure that's out there with the Huddle, which is an internet-based film storage service, everybody's got access to it. So, you got every school in the country that has access to our games and all the games throughout the state of California, and actually any community college across the country. And so the exposure is phenomenal. You couldn't have any better exposure. So it really comes down to, one, do people like what they see in a particular position of what they're looking for on film? And then the second thing is the academic part.
Academics.
We've done, I think, as much as we possibly can at this point. We've done as much as we possibly could do in terms of indoctrinating our guys with utilizing all the support systems that are up at BC. We have a really great academic support system up there. We've got tutoring lab, we got a writing lab, we got a reading lab, we got a math lab, we've got a supplemental instruction lab, we've got a tutoring center.
Everything.
And we've done, I think, a really good job of tracking our guys in terms of utilizing those resources, and we're trying to get our guys really to approach school like they approach football from a perspective of it takes time in developing the mind, and it takes time developing the body. And luckily for us, we've got as good a strength and conditioning guys as anybody in the state.
Coach Peters
would throw them up there against anybody, really at a 2-year level. And most 1AA programs don't even have a full-time strength and conditioning coach. You look at the schools in California, Sac State, Cal Poly. Usually it's done by an assistant coach. And we're fortunate enough to have a guy that not only is he full-time, but he knows what he's doing. He's got a great understanding of where we're at from a developmental process, in terms of kids coming into our program from high schools, where some guys don't have any expertise at all in the weight room, and a lot of the lifts that we do are a little bit more complicated than what guys are doing for the guys that do have a little bit of experience, and he does a great job. So I think, just like the correlation is there that we have to develop bodies, we also have to develop the mind, and it's a mindset in terms of getting our guys to make it a part of their daily routine to use supplemental instruction, whether it's the tutoring center, supplemental instruction lab, the writing lab, math lab, so on and so forth. So, we're optimistic. I think we're going to have quite a few guys get some really good offers and some scholarships.
I agree.
We're proud of that, and and that's what our job is right now. Really, we need to try and focus in on helping those sophomores get out and move on to the next level. And then, after the holidays, here comes 2019. So it's funny to say that 2019 sounds like you're in a different time
like
zone,
a futuristic movie
does,
or something, right?
Yeah, I keep forgetting it's 2018.
All right. Well,
so anyway, it's we're looking forward to the holiday season. Obviously, we have a game Saturday, and what we've kind of sold our guys on, especially our sophomores. It's another opportunity for them to put some good reps on a highlight tape. Now is the time when you want to shine. If we had a couple guys that felt like, man, they could have played a little better last week, here's an opportunity to redeem themselves a little bit. We've got some guys that are beat up and injured, and that's not going to change. So I think our mentality, we had a rough Tuesday. It wasn't a really good day, but our guys did a really nice job yesterday of responding and turning it around. And I hope that we continue with the same focus and mindset that we had yesterday and carry it into Saturday, because it's really going to be a game, about who wants it more than the other guy. And we got to travel a long way down there. There's a lot of excuses that you can come up with, but at the end of the day, I hope that our guys actually do have some good film off this game. It's a good opponent. Saddleback's a good team. We've basically played, I think, 6 teams, 5 or 6 teams like opponents this year, and the scores are pretty match up pretty closely. So on paper it should be a pretty evenly matched game. It's just a matter about going down and playing. And like I said, our sophomores have something to play for because it's an opportunity for them to get more exposure. And exactly. And so that's what we're counting on, that our guys are going to be motivated by the opportunity to play an 11th game and really make this their best showing. So it'll be a challenge for us, no question about it. But, I think our guys, like I said, they had a great practice yesterday, and hopefully today will be the same thing, and we'll capitalize on one more day, today and tomorrow. We actually do stuff on Fridays now, so it's a good fitting thing for these guys to play a bowl game and an 11th game, which there's only a handful of teams that are doing that. I think there's 38 teams in the South, and I think there's only 14 teams that are playing. So, you got 24 teams that are sitting at home, and we've been fortunate enough, to keep playing. So we'll give it our best shot.
Well, Coach, I'm one of your former defensive guys.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things you talked about all season was getting better. Being in the booth gives me the opportunity to see it wholeheartedly and just let you know that from game 1 to game 10, defense played lights out, even when they were put in tough positions at times.
We really did. That first game was kind of I look back, and it was really an anomaly. It's kind of shocking that we didn't play better than what we played. We did some things early on in that game where we created some turnovers, but other than those turnovers, we really didn't play. That was probably the worst game of the year we played, hands down. And, you got to give Mount Sac credit coming out and kind of looked like we were deer in headlights. But our guys really have responded well, and they've played really tough the whole year long. And we've created a lot of opportunities for our football team, and our guys play with passion. They play hard, and it's been a good group, and we've had some guys that have gone down to injury. We've had some guys come in and step up, and that's what you talk about, team. And so our guys have really responded to the challenge. There's no question about that, and so we've got one more challenge that we got to respond to.
Well, Coach,
Saturday.
I'm glad you touched on the offense too, because one of the things that me and John talked about was how impressed we were with Irby. As a kid that got off the plane, ended up having 3 days to practice before he's thrown in there because of injury, threw a touchdown and then kind of fell apart in that game. But after that game, you could tell once he actually got some structure and some knowledge of the playbook and knowing what to do, he started to improve as well and get better, to the standpoint of actually allowing us to stretch the field more and use that play action that worked so well at times in the games that we did win. More than anything, with the end of the season coming or here, I'd like to talk about Elisha Ortiz and the opportunity that we had to rely on him carrying the ball up to 41 times at times. Offensive line doing a great job run blocking at times. Struggled in the pass protection realm at times as well. But, just like you said, just getting better as a team overall gave us the opportunity to have a much better second half of the season than we had last year, Coach. And that's just from me being one of your guys.
Well, I think, I think last year we were 7-1 going into the last 2 games. And then
I think we dropped like 3 of the last 4 or something.
No, we lost. We were 7-1, and then we played Ventura, and it was, I believe, it was a tie game going into the fourth quarter. But we gave up some points.
Those 50-50 balls.
Yeah, and then they ended up. I think they won our league, and then we turned it over 6 or 7 times against Canyons the next week, which you're not going to win games there. And,
absolutely.
You go into a bowl game, and like I said, you got to want to play. So I think, you look at this year, we started off, we had two starting offensive linemen that were hurt before our season, that we were penciled in as starters that didn't even play this year. So that put us in a depth problem already on the O-line, and
we did.
Played with quite a few freshmen. And, it is what it is. Hey, you can't – injuries are – you can prevent them every which way you can by good training habits, but there's some things that you have no control over, and it is – it happens. So – just like the quarterback situation. I think, you look back at our guys that we have counted on the last 2 years offensively, Cam Roberson and Elijah Ortiz. And, the one thing that I'll say about those 2 guys, they're great teammates. They compete extremely hard. And they're good football players, and they're going to have opportunities to play at the next level, which is exciting for us, and it's exciting for them and their families. And, I think, Elijah, we were able to run the ball better. I think a lot of that ended up just being as we had a more of identity of who we are and what our guys are actually capable of doing. We were able to run the ball with more success in the second half of the year, and he did a great job on Saturday. He really picked it up and kind of put us on his
heart,
his back, and did some really good things. And he competes. He's a competitive kid, and he's a great teammate. He's not a guy that's going to get outworked. He's not a guy that's going to miss a practice. He's not a guy that's going to miss a weight room. He's not going to miss class. He's going to do the things that he's supposed to do, and that's why he's going to be successful. Not just in football, but in life. He's going to, 10 years from now, he's going to be in a good situation, and he's going to be successful. Cam's the same way. Cam's a really good kid. Decided to stay here in town, and it's going to work out in his benefit. Could have gone to Weber State and Montana State at a high school, and I think it'll work out. Not that there's nothing wrong with those programs, but I think he'll end up with something that's a little bit from a scholarship standpoint, a better scholarship. And he's a great kid. He's a competitive guy, and same thing. He's kind of beat up and played in spite of some of the stuff that he's got going on health-wise, and he does have heart, and he's a good guy, and he's, like a lot of our guys. But those are when you have your better players who are, your good or your character guys too. It just makes life a lot easier, makes it a lot simpler, because those are the guys that everybody kind of looks up to in a way, and they do everything right. So. We're going to be sorry to see him go, but at the same time, we feel very blessed that they were part of the program. They did a lot for BC football and Bakersfield College in general. So, looking forward to seeing what happens on Saturday. Hopefully they're going to be healthy enough to give it a shot, and we'll see what happens.
Well, two of the most explosive players I ever seen on the field. I played with some great players. Too many to name, but just watching their individual output and their heart and their passion to lead when things weren't going perfect is something that you admire. And also two people that when they get the football, they can take it all away at any moment. But what sticks out in my mind as we get ready to close, Coach, is the fact that you talked about leadership. And I believe in the trickle-down theory of leadership. It starts at the top. For you as a coach, you taught us how to be prepared. You taught us how to look for things that weren't being taught at the level previous to us, and sometimes the level after us. I felt like at times I was coaching my DB coaches because of some of the skills and things that you taught us about reading the drops of quarterbacks and shoulder trajectory and different things of that nature. But ultimately, what you taught us about being character guys off the field is what puts us in a position to do some of the things that we're doing today, as well as, just like you said, for Elisha Ortiz, 10 years from now, these guys are going to be successful no matter what hurdles they come into, and no matter how things fall apart, they're going to be able to fight through it and get through it.
Yeah, no question. I think those guys, and that's a big part of what we do. And it's not just, like I said, when you have, when you spend the time that we spend with these guys starts in the end of January, and it goes all the way until the end of November. It's basically almost 11 months, and we don't really have a lot of time off. We're working out
full year
all year for the most part. They have a month of December off, and that's basically, and part of January off, and that's basically about it. And so you get the opportunity to kind of see these guys grow. I think they're in a good, we've created a really good environment, a good culture about work ethic and accountability and, loyalty to their teammates. And again, it's not just one person. We rely on a lot of people. We've got good people in our support staff. Our financial aid people are awesome. Like I said, Coach Peters does a great job. Our assistant coaches do a great job. We've got a lot of people that are involved in our football program that are not just on the field football coaches.
I agree, Coach.
That help our guys learn about being successful life skill wise, and that's really what when it's all said and done, that's what we're striving for, is to see these guys be successful past Bakersfield College and the litmus test is the 10 years from now. What are they doing 10 years from now? And I think for the most part, we've got a really good group, and I expect all these guys to, do some great things and contribute to our community. And so those are the things that you really look forward to. And so there's a lot of people that take a hand in that, and credit needs to go out to everybody that is affiliated with our program, no question. So, I think we have a good culture set here, and with what we're doing, and our guys are doing some really good things.
Well, Coach, as we come to a close, I don't care how tired you get of hearing it, how late I send you the text. I appreciate everything you've done for me as a player and as a person. The leadership that you instilled in me assisted me with developing my own family and put myself in the position to be a business owner. I salute you, Coach. And great year.
Well, I think, Kenny, just like, your own experience, we're trying to do, we want everybody to feel that same way. And I think, that's the unique thing about BC, what we do here, this show, what we do on the Streamline stuff. And it gives a lot of people a lot of opportunity to connect with old teammates and the whole 9 yards, and really stay connected with the community, even though they might not live here.
Absolutely.
But it's just, it's a good thing what's going on up at Bakersfield College. And a lot of people, like I said, like what you guys do here, and get it out there for people who might have played here 30 years ago. Before I came to BC in 1992. And then I know there's a lot of people that still are follow what's going on through the social media stuff. And
it's been crazy, Coach. We've had listeners as far as Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So this is Kenny Calvin, last of the Bowser Boys, first of the Grider group, and the former general in the Chudy gang. We'll be right back after the break.
Right on.
If you call Kern County home, then you can bank with Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. It's that simple. From savings and checking accounts to home and auto loans to the latest in online and mobile technology, Kern Schools is here to be your lifelong financial partner. And whether you like traditional banking or prefer to handle your finances online, we can meet all your needs. To open your Kern Schools account today, simply visit a branch or go online. With online account opening, you won't even have to come visit us. Just one more way Kern Schools is here to make your life easier, so your dreams and goals become reality. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special.
Buying a pre-owned vehicle from an online company can be risky, especially if the vehicle is not seen in person before the purchase. At Three-Way Chevrolet, we want you to search and compare the inventory on our website, but then come in to the dealership and test drive our vehicles. Let us take the risk out of your buying experience. Buy from the dealer you trust, and when you step up to certified pre-owned, confidence comes standard. A 172-point inspection and reconditioning, along with 2 factory-backed limited warranties and roadside assistance, add up to a value you can depend on, and a vehicle you can trust. From Three-Way Chevrolet, your hometown dealership.
It's hard to think about winter with the leaves and pumpkins laying about, but it won't be fall forever. So swing by the fall tire sale at Les Schwab through October 31st. The sale may be seasonal, but our service is here forever. Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing matters.
W.A. Thompson Distributing proudly supports Bakersfield College athletics. W.A. Thompson has been delivering quality beverage products to Kern County businesses for over 60 years. With great beer comes great responsibility. Please enjoy our products responsibly, and always remember, 21 means 21. W.A. Thompson Distributing salutes BC football. Thanks for following the Renegades on the radio, and go Gates!
Kern Schools Federal Credit Union is here to be your lifelong financial partner. So while your financial life may start out with a Rocky Raccoon account, as you grow, we'll be with you every step of the way. From your first car and everyone thereafter, to investing in your family's future, to buying that special house you'll call home, Kern Schools is here to help. And if you live in Kern County, then you can bank with us. See, we're local just like you, so what we accomplish together benefits our entire community. Kern Schools. Together, we have something special.
Work hard is what you've heard your whole life. Why not work smarter? Chevy trucks are ready when you are. Ready to load, haul, and get you around town in style. It starts here at Freeway Chevrolet. Come in this month for truck deals that are big. Save over $10,500 on a 2018 Silverado. Or get a brand new 2019 Colorado for under $22,000. All this and more can always be found at Freeway Chevrolet and freewaychevrolet.com. Selection, savings, and service at your hometown dealership.